Sweep. We got a full house for the first time this season. Janet Wilson's back on the top right, Luke Reimer bottom right, Trevor Land bottom left. I am Zach Bruner. And we are pretty much just going through the Packers schedule today. Packers schedule released last Thursday. We already knew who the home and away opponents were going to be. We now know the schedule. We know the primetime games. For the most part, some of them can be moved. And most importantly, we know the bye week. But tickets are released. You can buy your tickets, and we will go through the games, maybe show you some of the games that are looking really exciting. Like those could be the must-go games of the year if you're a follower of Janet. Maybe go to the week 3 game and get really good tickets because it sounds like she wants some. So that could be an option as well. Before we just jump into it, though, is there anything you guys want to hit on before schedule release? Because after this, we're going schedule, we're going win projections, predictions, and getting out of here, I think. So anything else in terms of news you want to hit?
I don't think so. Just to kind of lead into the schedule, I think we're all in the same mindset of. I think a lot of Packer fans are in the same mindset of cautiously optimistic. I don't know what optimistic means to a lot of people, but I don't know. I don't know that there's expectations for the season, which is kind of different than the last 15 years, right?
I honestly don't know. I think the fan base is so divided.
Yeah.
In many ways, I guess, but in terms of like expectations, like there's people who think Jordan Love is the next Hall of Famer. Pumbaa, obviously, with Janet is skeptical. He looks skeptical.
Yeah, look, he sees my shirt and he's like, "What the heck is she wearing?" She really thinks.
But like the win total. So obviously, for the sports betting people, like win projections came out for all the teams. You can bet over or under, and the Packers is at 7.5 at pretty much every site. So we're looking at around 500. We're looking at around the same record as last year. And I've seen a lot of people be like, "Oh God, hammer the over." They actually think the Packers are going to be bad. We lost Aaron Rodgers. Like that doesn't matter. For some reason, that's a take. There's some people thinking, "Oh, without Aaron Rodgers, the Packers are absolutely nothing," and they're thinking, "Hey, they're going to completely fall apart and be terrible." And then to your point, Luke, I feel like there's some people just sort of in the middle. But even still, like I don't know what my expectations are. I don't know what a lot of people's expectations are, and I think the way the season begins is obviously going to set the tone, but I feel like a lot of questions will be answered immediately, which I think is fun. But let's just jump into the schedule. I'll just go over the schedule, hit some maybe key dates, maybe key things in terms of timing and stuff like that. And then we'll go game by game and give our predictions. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, wherever, give us a follow, jump in the chat as well. Just let us know what your predictions are, overall record predictions, game by game, what have you. But week 1, it feels like every year, every other year, it's a pretty common opponent. Starting off, we got the Chicago Bears week 1. We go to Chicago week 1. It's a 3:25 game. Week 2, we're on the road again at Atlanta for a noon game. Then we got 2 home games back to back. We got the Saints at home, a noon game. We got a short week home against Detroit on Thursday night. And then we go to Las Vegas on Monday Night Football for week 5. Then we have a bye. Come back out. We go to Denver for a 3:25 game. Then we're home back-to-back weeks against the Vikings and the Rams. Those are both at noon. We go to Pittsburgh at noon in week 10. We are home against the Chargers at noon in week 11. Then Thanksgiving week, we're playing at Ford Field in the early game on Thanksgiving. So again, a little bit of a mini bye. Then we play this Kansas City Chiefs at home for Sunday Night Football. We go to New York Giants for Monday Night Football in week 14. Home against the Buccaneers for a noon game in week 15. 2 road games. We go to Carolina in week 16. To the Vikings for Sunday Night Football on New Year's Eve in week 17. And then the final game of the season is against the Bears again at home. And we don't know when that game will be played. If the Packers and Vikings are terrible, which they absolutely should be, it seems like the Vikings game could be flexed out of Sunday Night Football, I believe, that day. So I think that's why that is there. In terms of other key things, obviously, that short week between the Saints and the Lions is not too bad because they're back-to-back home games. That's nice. And then we get a mini bye before we go to Las Vegas for Monday Night Football. So we got a mini bye, then we got a bye immediately after the Raiders. And also that game with the Raiders is the only game on Pacific time.
Nice.
So in terms of time changes, there really isn't much. And the only one that goes super early for us then is a Monday night game. So that doesn't affect us. And we got a mini bye, so that doesn't affect us. I believe the Packers have the second fewest miles traveled this year.
Nice.
And part of that is because the divisional opponents are so close. But also, like I said, only one Pacific Coast time zone. And then the other games on the road that aren't divisional is Atlanta, Denver, Pittsburgh, in New Jersey for the Giants, and then Carolina. So it's really not bad. Last year, I feel like we talked about how the schedule really screwed the Packers, and I feel like this is a patty cake schedule, to be completely honest, in terms of timing and scheduling. So that's good. Now, if we want to go take a little bit deeper look, what could be bad, playing a divisional game against the Bears week 1 could be great or terrible, because Aaron Rodgers has owned the Bears his entire career. And I assume Jordan Love in the Packers offense is going to get a lot of snaps in the preseason. A ton of snaps. And a ton of snaps in the preseason means injuries. So I'm assuming we're going to be pretty injured going into that week 1 Chicago game. Also, we got Rashawn Gary, who's probably still out. Eric Stokes, who's probably still out. Maybe others that I'm not thinking about. So that week 1 game against Chicago, I think, is very scary. And if the Packers lose to Chicago in Jordan Love's first game as the full-time starter, there's going to be a lot of Jordan Love believers starting to turn immediately, which I think is hilarious. So, with that being said, week 1, Chicago Bears, I have that game as a loss. Let's go clockwise. Trevor, what do you think about the Bears game?
I think it's absolutely a loss. I mean, Chicago's going to be pumping. They're going to be ready. And the thing is, I don't trust this Packers defense. Like, it's always a tough game, even with Aaron Rodgers, and now without him. I mean, we've talked about they're going to be sending blitzes. The Packers are going to be hurt. The Bears aren't going to kill us, but I don't think it's necessarily going to be close.
Luke?
I believe that this will be a win. I'm going to take the exact opposite side of Trevor. I think the Packers will be pumped up for this game. I mean, this is the first game where, I don't know what the players' thoughts are, but, maybe they got rid of I don't want to call Aaron Rodgers a cancer in the locker room, but they got rid of the distraction, right? This kind of feels like the first game they can come out and play. And I don't know what you guys think, but I still think the Chicago is the worst team in the NFL. I don't necessarily know that they got any better in the offseason. I mean, DJ Moore is fine. I mean, that's all dependent on Justin Fields. I'm not a huge Chicago believer. I'm not a huge Justin Fields believer. I think this is another shitty year for Chicago, and I think it's another win for Green Bay. I think Packers started out hot, the exact opposite of what it's been the last couple of years.
What's your thoughts, Janet?
I'm gonna agree with Luke. So I think it's a win too. I think we've got a bunch of young guys that are coming out and they're just gonna go balls out. So they're gonna be excited, they're gonna be pumped. Like Luke said, I don't want to call Aaron Rodgers like the cancer, but there was a lot of negative energy there. So now that negative energy has been removed, and again, it's a bunch of young dudes hyping each other up. So I feel like they're going to go out.
That's fair. So we are torn. We're split on that one. And then, like I said, week 2, we hit the road again. One of only 2 back-to-back road games this year, which is kind of crazy. We go to Atlanta. Atlanta last year, I think, surprised a lot of people with how good they were. And it's just because they ran the ball insanely well. They have a really good offensive line, really good run scheme. And now they have one of the best running backs in the entire NFL already with Bijan Robinson. We'll see about their quarterback play. We'll see about their defense. But to me, my entire Packers existence has been Green Bay doesn't know how to stop the run.
Yep.
And I think the same is going to happen in week 2. So I think Jordan Love starts his full-time starter status off with back-to-back losses. Janet talked about the negative energy leaving the building with Aaron Rodgers. And I think all of a sudden there's a negative energy in the building again where people are like, uh-oh, we got back-to-back losses. Rodgers wouldn't have lost these games. Trevor, what do you think?
I think it's a win. I think Atlanta absolutely sucks. Their running game is good, but I think Joe Barry finally gets his head out of his ass and just stuffs the run in time. I don't think Love needs to do that much. He just has to not lose this game. But I think any fan that thinks this is going to be like a 28-7 game is grossly overstating the defensive ability. It'll be a close one, but it'll be a win.
Zach, I'm in the same boat with you. Through my whole existence too, stop the fucking run. It's never ever been stopped. We saw, what the shitty Jets were last year, what Breece Hall did to us. I mean, whoever starts at quarterback for Atlanta, I think it's a problem for Green Bay. Either you get Desmond Ridder, who nobody has any film on, or you get Taylor Heineke, who's beaten the Packers before. This defense is not very good. And I think Atlanta's a team that can kind of shock people this year. I think they can do some weird shit that nobody has film on. I'm not saying Atlanta, is a Super Bowl contender or even a playoff contender or anything, but I think it's a team that'll be in every game they're in. They're a bunch of young guys who don't really have anything to play for. So I'm taking Atlanta in that game.
Before Janet gives her prediction, I just assume Taylor Heineke's playing, right? Like he's going to start that game. Yeah. Like somehow Ridder's going to get hurt week 1. He always plays the Packers. Mm-hmm. I feel like wherever he goes for his entire career, he's going to start against the Packers or come in and mess our game up, essentially. Janet, what do you think about the matchup with the Falcons?
I agree with Trevor because they were at the bottom of the NFC South last year. So I think it's a win for us.
Week 3, we play another NFC South team.
For those going at home, that's 2 splits in a row, 50-50 for each game.
I know. This is exciting television, folks.
But I think that speaks to nobody knows what the fuck's going to happen.
Nobody knows what's going to happen. Exactly.
And speaking to that, nobody knows if the Saints are good or bad this year. The Packers play the Saints in week 3. First home game of the year. Jordan Love, is going to get cheered no matter what. Even if he stinks it up at the first 2 games, he's going to be welcome to Lambeau very loudly in support. Playing the Saints, led by Derek Carr. Who else is good on that team? I am not quite sure. Alvin Kamara could be suspended. We truly have no idea. Like that situation's completely up in the air. But I think the Packers get a win. First home game of the year, I think they beat the Saints. Trevor?
Yeah, first home game of the year, everybody's going to be buzzing. I'm going to be there, and my losing streak will finally end for Wisconsin football.
I didn't know you were going to be there.
I think Kamara's going to be suspended for this week. I don't think it goes any longer than 3, but if Kamara's out, I don't really think there's a question here. Again, I don't think they're going to blow him out of the water, but Lambeau's going to be buzzing. Jordan Love, again, I think this is a game he just has to not lose. And I think he can do that. I think they could improve to 2-1.
Yeah, I'm with you guys too. Like the Saints have nobody. Maybe it's a curse of them not starting Jameis Winston. But there's just absolutely no production coming from that offense in my mind. I think right now my pick is for the Saints to come in last in that division. I think Jordan Love, like you said, Trevor, the place is going to be buzzing. I think that only helps Jordan Love. I mean, that seems like an easy way to get in the groove with things. I think this is a game where LaFleur starts off. Maybe the first 8 plays of the games are runs, and you throw a couple of play action, digs or play action, crossing routes, just to get them in rhythm right away. The Saints have nothing on offense that scares me, although I guess it is a Jamal Williams revenge game, that game.
I was going to say that if Kamara's out, Jamal Williams is going to run for 200.
Yeah. I don't even think, if he does, I don't even think that, the Saints, the Saints are kind of a dumpster fire in my mind. What are they? Where are they really going? They're kind of in NFL purgatory right now. I think this is a perfect way for Packer fans to kind of understand who Jordan Love is and what he's capable of doing.
Janet, what do you got?
Yeah, because I'm going to be there, so I want them to win. But I also thought the exact same thing. I came across the Saints, and I was trying to pick. I said, wait, who plays for the Saints though? And all I could think about was Jamal Williams. And I was like, okay, yeah, we're winning that for sure because I can't even think of who plays for them. So I think that's a win for sure. And I'm going to be there. So.
Okay, so for those at home, that was a sweep.
Sweep.
And I think that means bet the Saints in that game. Like right now, there's odds somewhere. I think DraftKings might have odds. Bet the Saints. Short week. We stay in Lambeau. We got Dan Campbell coming to town. Obviously, last time he was in town, the Lions were in town. They crushed the Packers' playoff hopes. And I think the Lions are going to be pretty damn good this year. I think they're going to be flying high, especially early in the season. They got some good players now, which is weird. It could be a situation where the Lions are good when they have bad players, and then now they get a little too overconfident. We'll see. That would crush my heart. But I have the Packers losing this game. Probably a real gritty game, if I had to guess. A lot of running, a lot of 3 and outs, but I'm going to go with the Packers lose.
I got the Lions absolutely curb stomping the Packers here. I think they want it more. They have the belief. They have the better players. And I think after 3 weeks, even if the Packers are 1-2, there'll still be a belief that they have time to turn it around. I think this is a statement game for the Packers in terms of, oh man, we're in trouble. I just don't see us matching Detroit's physicality on a short week. And Dan Campbell's going to have them buzzing. So, yeah, I got this as a loss. So go down to 2-2.
I agree with you guys, and it almost feels like something that we've seen in the past. This feels like a LaFleur gets out coached by a better coach kind of game. I think Dan Campbell is obviously one of everyone's favorite coaches in the NFL, and I think there's a lot of very good coaches on that Lions staff, coaching staff as well. I mean, go back and watch Hard Knocks, and you can see, like to Trevor's point, how bad the Lions want to be out of the gutter here. Beating the Packers twice last year, I'm sure they're all up in arms about that. I mean, I think they ride that winning streak here. Is it weird to say that maybe Jared Goff is a top 7-6 quarterback in the NFC right now? And like you said, Zach, the Lions have upgraded a lot of positions, a lot of young guys in the draft. It hurts me to say this, but I think the Lions are on the right track to winning a division here, and I think that kind of really starts in Green Bay.
I agree.
I completely agree. Yeah, Janet?
I definitely agree. I still get pumped thinking about Dan Campbell on Hard Knocks. Like I'll work out and I'll be like, he was amazing. So I think I literally wrote Dan Campbell with a little heart on my notes. So
Me too.
That's how I feel too, Janet.
So I totally agree with everything y'all said.
Then again, mini bye because they played on Thursday, and they get to play on Monday Night Football in Week 5, so they got an extra day on top of that. They head west. Does the extra time mean they get to Vegas early and have a little bit too much fun? That does seem like the most Matt LaFleur thing of all time to do, since he somehow messes up every road trip schedule somehow when they go west. But I do have the Packers taking care of the Raiders. With Jimmy Garoppolo in there, he might be hurt already. Davante Adams getting a little bit lippy. I think he needs to cool it a little bit. Realize you got Jimmy G as your quarterback now, so you need to dial it back a little bit. And the Raiders secondary is still fucking atrocious. Their offensive line might be the worst in the NFL. So I think the Packers can handle this game actually relatively easily.
Yeah, I think this is a win too. I think this is a tale of two storms. I think this is the one game a year where it looks like the Packers are going to win a game and give everybody false hope. And I think right here is where the Raiders season starts to fall down by here. Like you said about Davante Adams causing the problems there. I don't know who their quarterback is. Their line is, I mean, it's a sieve. I don't know what else to say about it. Their defense is bad. Again, I've said this a lot early, but Jordan Love just has to not lose this game. That's really it. There shouldn't be a reason that the Packers lose this game.
I'm taking a loss here for Green Bay. Davante Adams' revenge game, and it's like same thing as Taylor Heineke. Like I've seen Jimmy Garoppolo beat the Packers before, multiple times. I've also seen the Packers lose multiple times like you said, Zach, in Pacific time. They don't travel well. Vegas is a whole different issue of teams traveling there. Zach, you're totally right that Yeah, LaFleur will probably get there a week early just to get his bearings all settled and make sure everyone's comfortable. And I can't imagine what Rasul Douglas is going to do in Las Vegas for 6 days without a game. So I'm taking Vegas.
Slayton.
TJ Slayton and Rasul Douglas ripping up the strip. That'd be a sight.
They got to see the pretty lights.
Right. I don't know. The Packers and the Raiders feel like very similar teams to me. And I think it's just whoever comes out on top. Since the Vegas has home field, I'll give it to Vegas.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it to Vegas too. As much as I hate Jimmy G, I hate him so much. I also feel like it's a Devontae revenge game as well, and I agree with Luke as far as we don't travel well, and for some reason, when the time change, like we switch time zones, we lose all our shit, and I don't know why, but for some reason, I've heard bad things about that stadium.
It looks like a spaceship.
That it's like the sound is not good in that stadium. And I don't know if it's because of like the concerts or whatever, but apparently the sound is not good. It doesn't like project well in there. So it's just fuzzy. So I feel like if Raider fans are annoying and as loud as they usually are, and they're just going to throw us off our track. So yeah, I'm going to go with, we're going to lose that one. Give it to Raiders.
Do you think it feels like David Bakhtiari is going to go to like the gold and silver pawn shop from Pawn Stars and like miss the game or something?
Maybe. I mean, the rumor is he might not even be on the team this year.
Yeah, true.
One of them's going to give him
his brace
the fountains for sure.
He's going to give him his brace that he wore and ask him if they can let him know how much it is.
I heard that pawn off that real small.
Off that golf cart that he gave Rodgers.
Oh yeah.
I do think that game's a coin flip. Like it's just bad teams that are going to make bad decisions. I will say, I think that crowd's going to be overwhelmingly Packer fans. I'm not sure if it's going to be close.
Vegas will be a huge destination for Packer travelers,
especially with the new stadium.
New stadium. This is by far the most expensive game of the year for the Packers as well. One, because the Vegas prices are higher, but like those sold out already. I know a lot of Packers people already that booked tickets to go. So I think that's interesting.
Yeah, so do I.
Week 6 bye. So mini bye going into an actual bye. Interesting. Maybe it's a time to regroup, and then they come back. They play at the Denver Broncos. Obviously, the new look Denver Broncos. Russell Wilson's still there, but Sean Payton is now the head coach. I have that as a loss for the Packers. I think that's going to be a tough game. I think their defense is still legit. I think that's the biggest thing. But I think Sean Payton's going to at least make that offense respectable. And just a respectable offense on Denver last year would have made them a very good team. So I have a loss out of the bye there.
I'm sorry, before you go, Trevor, is that an away game?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I absolutely have that as a loss to have it as a bad one. To your point, I mean, that defense was very good. I think if the offense scored like 17 points, it would have won like 11 games at least or something like that. There's no way they can be any worse. Like they're bottom of the barrel. There has to be some progression there. And I mean, that just has all the makings of a bad game. They do get a bye, but like, there's no reason we should think the Packers can win when they have the worst coach, worst quarterback, worst defense. There's just no way. So I got Broncos winning.
No, I mean, Russell Wilson sucks. He has nobody to bail him out anymore. Marshawn Lynch isn't here. The defense is fine, I guess, but it was fine last year and still nothing happened. I mean, the dude sucks at playing quarterback. The dude sucks at football. Jordan Love is a much better quarterback than Russell Wilson right now. Sean Payton, of course, and Matt LaFleur. But if we're putting our eggs in Russell Wilson, like Russell Wilson can't beat the Packers without his Hall of Fame running back, which they have no other weapons on that Broncos team. This Broncos team sucks. I don't think.
What? What are you talking about? They don't get weapons.
They don't have weapons. They don't have weapons.
Javonte Williams is an amazing running back. They got Cortland Sutton. They got Jerry Jeudy. They just drafted Mims in the second round.
They had those guys last year and nothing happened.
That's true.
Yeah,
Russell Wilson weighed 30 pounds more last year.
It's all dependent on Russell Wilson, who's absolutely horrible at the quarterback position. I mean, this Broncos team is maybe a 4-win team at best. I mean, the Packers.
Trevor, star this episode.
The
Come back for this take.
Trounce the Broncos in this
Come
game.
back for this.
Horrible team. They're right down there with Chicago. Get Russell Wilson the fuck out of here. You put anyone else at quarterback, maybe they're a good team. But this Broncos team is horrible.
Does it change your mind? Does it change your mind that Ben DiNucci just signed there?
No, I hate Ben DiNucci.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Zach, is this worse than his bubblegum take?
I don't know. No, bubblegum's bad. I tried to go. I was gonna really side tangent. Janet, you give your prediction first, and then I'm gonna tell Luke what I almost did for him, but I didn't have the heart to do it.
I was gonna say that's a win for the Packers because I have some sort of vendetta towards Russell Wilson, but Luke really.
Good pick, Janet.
He got my vendetta and lit it on fire and threw it in like a porta potty. So I don't know how I can follow up with just a vendetta against Russell Wilson compared to Luke.
I think this game might be so lopsided in Denver's favor that Sean Payton's going to be doing bong rips on the sideline.
Absolutely. I think Ben DiNucci's playing by the end of the third.
Because Russell Wilson's that fucking bad.
I think he might be pretty good this year.
It's going to be like 30-7.
I don't think he's going to be good. I really don't think he's going to be good.
Yeah. He's a dog shit quarterback.
I hope he wins MVP just to spite you. I hate Russell Wilson too, but this is too far.
He doesn't have anyone to bail him out anymore.
That doesn't make any sense.
The
Look
only
at that
reason
team.
People thought he was good. It was because Seattle had an all-time defense and Marshawn
Because they
Lynch.
had Doug Baldwin?
No, that's not what I'm saying. Because they had Marshawn Lynch.
For what year? Like a few.
Right.
They were still good. They won 10 games every year.
That's when the Russell Wilson hype was high, and everyone's like, this dude's a future Hall of Famer. This dude can't even hold my jock at quarterback. I'm a better quarterback than Russell fucking Wilson.
This is false. This is so wrong. You gotta move on.
Luke, he wears his own jersey. There's nothing cooler than that. He showed up to training camp in his own jersey. No one's ever done that before.
He grinds so hard he does push-ups and jumping jacks on the plane.
I was about to say.
Nobody talks about him being a cancer for the locker room. Nobody wants to see the quarterback doing fucking jumping jacks while the rest of the team's sleeping.
He's setting the tone for the rest of the team. Let's get up. Let's get moving.
That's fine, but nobody's going to follow him because he's so fucking corny and stupid and bad at football.
Jerry Jeudy defended him.
Yeah, Jerry Jeudy's an idiot as well.
I can't wait to come back to this.
Agreed. Me too.
Okay. Week 8, Packers go back home. They play the Minnesota Vikings. First matchup with the Vikings this year. It's going to be an important one. And I have them winning this game. I think this is a really tough stretch for the Packers. I had to give them a win to keep some people off my back. And I think the Vikings is the easiest one for them. So I think they beat the Vikings. Vikings suck. Trevor?
I don't care if anybody gets on my back. I think this is a loss. I just don't have confidence in Love. I think he's a young quarterback. I think he's still rattled from week 7, where normal quarterbacks won it. Is that a weird prediction 8 weeks out? Yeah, but I mean, the Vikings have done it before. Cook might be gone, which would obviously change things. And I think if Cook is gone, it's definitely a very close game. But I just think the Vikings, they suck, but I think they suck less. I think they win. And the Packers go to 3-4?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle of you guys. Like, this is a toss-up game for me. Both these teams seem like kind of like the Raiders. Like they're all in that same tier. The Vikings probably have better weapons on offense than the Packers. That makes me want to lean a little bit towards the Vikings, although the defense is kind of blows on both teams. I mean, I don't know. Flip a coin in this one. I'm giving the Packers a loss, but it's really flip a coin.
You know what I did, Luke? Because I thought the same. I put a win and a loss. Might be whichever one.
This would be my candidate if I had to pick one. This would be my candidate for the tie this year.
Yeah, maybe. I agree, though. I feel like it's either gonna be a win or a loss, and then the other game's gonna be a win or a loss. So 50-50.
So Luke went from saying the Broncos have no weapons to saying the Vikings might have better weapons than the Packers.
Well, yeah,
they have
Justin
Jefferson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They definitely have better weapons than the Packers.
The
What are you
Vikings, yeah,
talking
correct.
about?
The Vikings have better
Yeah,
weapons than the Packers.
You were pretty hesitant. You're like, they might. Like,
Okay,
of
well,
course they do.
Yes, of course, sure.
Okay.
No, don't say sure. Say yes.
No, I'm saying
Okay, next week 9, Packers at home again. They play the Rams. Matt LaFleur thinks it's awkward to coach against his friends. Sean McVay is basically his father. This is a loss. I think this is going to be one where everyone's like, okay, Packers are about to get back on track. And Cam Akers runs for 150. We got Matthew Stafford looking like Detroit Lions. Matthew Stafford carving up the Packers. I think the Rams have a bounce back year. So, yeah, I think this could be pretty lopsided as well.
I think you hit it on the head. I think it's a loss. I think people are forgetting they have Matt Stafford. They just looked at their schedule. The Packers played the same team with Baker Mayfield and barely grinded out a win. I mean, 24-12. It was really a bad win. And like you said, Matt Stafford is back. Cam Akers is there. Their
Cooper
defense,
Kupp.
I think they figured some more stuff out. Yeah, I mean, they're not going to blow us out of the water, but I think this is a game that too many people are taking for granted. I think they go to 3-5.
Yeah, I also agree with you guys. It kind of sounds like you guys are in the same boat. The Rams are kind of a sneaky bounce back team for me this year. It seems like they'll be fully healthy. Picked up some pieces in the draft in the offseason. And like you said, that, like right there, Matt LaFleur calls it awkward to coach against his friends. What the fuck does that even mean? You know, like just go coach football. It's another reason why Matt LaFleur probably doesn't need to have a job in Green Bay anymore. And we've seen what he does against his friends, and that's lose every single fucking time. So I'll take the Rams in this game.
Same. And I think without Rodgers, Sean McVay has the upper hand, because we did talk about how Rodgers would kind of coach with Matt LaFleur, and now Matt LaFleur does not have his little friend coaching as well. So I think Sean McVay is going to have the upper hand in this, and it's a loss for the Packers.
Yeah, and this is sort of the stretch of the season too. Like, not only is Jordan Love's going to be tired, dude. Like, this is where the end of the college season would be, for one. So this is about to be his longest season, and he hasn't been a starter for multiple weeks in a row for years as well. Like, this is where it's going to get tough. And saying that, then they go on the road to Pittsburgh. It's going to be fucking tough there. You're going to have TJ Watt coming at you. I think the Steelers are pretty good this year. They rebuilt their offensive line, which was their biggest weakness, other than their play caller. Their play caller is terrible, but the defense is going to be tough. They got good weapons on offense. So they got fucking George Pickens. Like, he's going to go crazy. I think the Steelers win this game.
Yeah, I originally, when I sent mine to you, I have it as a win. I'm flipping that to a loss. I knew Pittsburgh, I think this is going to be the most hostile environment Love's been in his career. To your point, I wasn't even thinking about the tiredness. He's played max 12 games a year since ever. Yeah, this is bad. The defense with the Steelers is going to be buzzing. We've talked about the Packers' offensive line problems with depth. At least one is going to be down by here. This just seems like a bad place to be. I think they go to 3-6 with this.
I'm with you guys. I think, Heinz Field was very tough. Is it still called Heinz Field? Didn't they change it?
I think it's Acrisure. I think that's the one.
It's one of the toughest places to play in the NFL. Nobody can kick balls there to save their lives. Somehow Chris Boswell will figure out how to kick there. But other than that, no. I mean, points are very tough to come by. You got to imagine Pittsburgh's hungry in this game, and for sure Mike Tomlin doesn't want to give up his winning record streak or not losing record streak. I think this is a big jump for a second year for Kenny Pickett as well. I think Najee Harris gets back on track, like you had mentioned, Zach. They kind of rebuilt that offensive line. That only helps Najee Harris and Kenny Pickett. I think this. I don't want to say this is a coming out game for Kenny Pickett, but this feels like a game that it could be.
Yeah,
What's your pick?
I'm the lone wolf
Janet?
on this one. I'm the lone wolf. I think the Packers are going to win, and for the sole purpose that my best friend is a Steeler, and I want them to win against. That's all. This is my SpongeBob throwing flowers at you guys right now. I don't know why I'm optimistic about this game.
Janet, you're telling me we are not your best friends? That hurts a little bit. But...
That's true. A little weird.
Okay.
A little weird.
You are my best friends.
Okay,
No,
week
that's
11.
okay.
No. I don't want to hear it. Week 11, Packers go back home. They play the Chargers. Just the talent level between these two teams is wild.
Yep.
Like, I think the Chargers win this game despite the Chargers will clearly do Chargers things. This will be a one-score game, but I think they win.
You hit it on the head. This would be a blowout, but they have Brandon Staley, and he is absolutely horrible. I actually think he's worse than Matt LaFleur. I hate nobody more in the league and the coaching role than him. I think he's a complete moron. To your point, it's going to be a close game because he's going to get in his own damn way, but they're going to lose.
I think the last time the Chargers came to Green Bay, Phillip Rivers threw for like 500 yards or something. I know the teams are completely different, but if that's any omen, I mean, it kind of feels like the same thing with Jay Herbo here. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, bar none. This I don't know. I think it'll be a blowout. I mean, I don't see the Packers scoring many points in this game. I don't see them not giving up many points in this game. Like you said, Zach, it's just the talent level is so much higher on the Chargers. It feels like the Chargers are going on that upswing, and the Packers are kind of going on that downswing, and it's kind of like ships meeting in the night here. So I don't know. Like, talent alone, maybe a 3-4 score game for the Chargers here.
I agree. I think that the Chargers are going to take this one. I really love Justin Herbert. I think he's doing so much compared to a lot of these other quarterbacks that were drafted around the same time he was. So, yeah, I agree. I think the Chargers are really good.
They are. Yeah, there's a couple interesting quarterbacks taken around Justin Herbert, weren't there?
Mm-hmm. Jordan Love's one of them.
Oh, I didn't even dawn on me. Yeah, I guess Herbert's been a little better than Jordan Love, huh?
I'm wearing the shirt, so I couldn't say it. I was just pointing at it.
Yeah. So then again, week 12, short week, Thanksgiving, early game on Thanksgiving. So this is both games against the Lions this year on short weeks on Thursday. Trevor, you talked about how the Lions are going to out physical the Packers. Like, for these short games, everyone's sore, everyone's hurt. There isn't much prep time. So it's like going back to basics on offense. It's just a base offense, base defense. And you got to come out and be ready to play. And I think in every regard, if you're just playing man-on-man football, to your point, the Lions are going to out physical you, and that gives the Lions the advantage in every single regard. The game's in Ford Field. I'm not sure if they redid their turf this year, so David Bakhtiari might not play this game because of his knee. And just to kind of make a point, especially since it's on national television, like, he might for real do that, and rightfully so, I suppose. But yeah, Lions lose. That's the fourth loss in a row that I have for the Packers.
I mean, I hope I'm not getting too far ahead of myself for you, Luke and Janet. I think if you pick against Detroit, especially now on Thanksgiving, you're an absolute moron. Something about Thanksgiving and the Lions, they're always good. And I don't know about you guys, but when we were at Ford Field last year, it felt like the culture kind of shifted with the fans too. Like, it just felt like something was changing. I have them here. I think they just absolutely run buck wild on the Packers. I think they lose. Geez, they're sixth in a row. I think they're 3-8.
Did Dan Campbell get a turkey leg last year?
I think he got fucking every turkey leg he desired.
If he didn't, you know he's hungry for one now this year, especially against a division rival. I mean, there's not much more. You guys covered the base. I'm taking the Lions in this game as well.
Same. I'm taking the Lions. And even if they are at Ford Field, you know, Dan Campbell throws bricks at his players to train them. So
he sure does. He also breaks his wrist and does up downs with them in training camp for some reason. Week 13, Packers are still at home. So this is their third home game in a row. It's Sunday Night Football, so they got the extra days from Thanksgiving to Sunday Night Football, but they have Kansas City coming to town. I guess Jordan Love, played tough against Kansas City before. That's going to be the narrative. I don't care. This is late Kansas City. Kansas City's going to be, rolling at this point. Give them the win, especially in prime time.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a loss. And I mean, just looking, even if the Packers still have a good record, they have gone through a gauntlet. They're going to be gassed. And if they have a losing stretch like they probably will have, I don't know how you bounce back against this team. Crowd's going to be excited, but to how much if they're sitting at 3-8, whatever. it won't matter. It's going to be the Mahomes show.
Yeah, I mean, this feels like a Quay Walker ejection game to me. It feels like instantly Marquez Valdez-Scantling 80-yard touchdown to start the game, followed up by a punt, followed up by just boom, boom, boom right down the field, 2-yard Travis Kelce touchdown. Emotions running high because Quay Walker missed Travis Kelce on that. Next series, he kicks someone or punches someone, ejected from the game. Whole morale's down, like 35-3 loss to Kansas City.
Yeah, I think it's a Packers loss for sure to Kansas City. I don't even want to think about this game as already.
Yeah. Week 14, they go to the Giants. It's a Monday Night Football game, so it's the second, or I guess kind of third primetime game in a row if you're counting Thanksgiving. Little weird. There's going to be a lot of spotlights on the Packers, and if they lose all those games, there's going to be a lot of headlines, a lot of media pressure. We all know how the Packers media is, so it's going to be kind of a nightmare, I feel like. And now there's all this film. We got 12 games of film on Jordan Love. Wink Martindale is known for bringing different looks at inexperienced quarterbacks and confusing the hell out of them. And Matt LaFleur is not going to be able to talk Jordan Love through this game. So this is going to be a lot of firsts for Jordan Love, and it's going to be a loss.
Absolutely. It's going to be a loss, especially with the losing streak. With Aaron Rodgers, he can break out any losing streak. Jordan Love absolutely cannot. To your point about Wink Martindale, this offense couldn't do anything in London in the second half. Some of that was LaFleur, but a lot of that was Wink as well. He's going to absolutely destroy him. Yeah, and I will die on this hill. Daniel Jones is a good quarterback. I think he's very good, and I think he's going to beat the Packers here.
Yeah, I mean, I say it every time you guys talk about Wink Martindale, but the dude's a fucking psychopath, and that's what you want as a defense coordinator, just a coach, or just as a person in the NFL. I'm with you guys as well. I like the Giants are a good team, I believe. I think they could give Philadelphia a run for their money for that division this year. I think that's all dependent on if Saquon Barkley stays healthy, which, I mean, based off last year, hopefully that's the case. I don't know about you guys. I love watching Saquon Barkley, so I'm rooting for him just to stay in here. And that's another game where it just kind of feels like, why doesn't Saquon Barkley go for 300 yards, total yards in this game?
Agreed.
Okay, well, I'm the lone wolf again. I see the Packers winning this one because that's already 3 losses that I have written down, and I think I'm gonna be depressed if we don't win. So this is my delusional Packer fan prediction here. I think we're gonna win this one.
So at this point in the season for me, well, week 14, they're at home against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Will they have Baker Mayfield at quarterback? Will it be Kyle Trask at this point? Who will it be? Will there be coaches fired in Tampa Bay at this point? We truly don't know. This is the point where the Packers have. Will they show up? This is 10 losses for the Packers at this point for me. This is also a Tampa team coming north in the cold Green Bay in December. So Packers are looking at an early draft pick. What are they going to do? They're going to start winning some games. They're going to screw this draft stock up a little bit, and I think the Packers win this game for that purely alone. We can't be picking in single digits. We're going to be picking like 10th. It's going to be great. Trevor?
Yeah, I think it's a win too. Baker Mayfield just cannot beat the Packers, even with a good team. And Kyle Trask, I like him a lot coming out of college, but I mean, we haven't seen anything out of him. Like you said, it's going to be in the cold Tampa Bay. I mean, who even knows about Devin White? He's had some problems there recently. And if he's gone, I mean, this game is definitely over. But I think the Packers can rebound here nicely, 4-10.
I'm also marking this as a win. You guys touch on it, like Baker Mayfield can't win at Lambeau Field. This also kind of feels like a legacy game for Brian Gutekunst, where Jordan Love throws for like 300 yards and 4 touchdowns or something like that, and everyone's
a legacy game.
Man.
Yeah, and everyone's all
fourth win of the season.
No, and then this turns like, we knew that Jordan Love could do this. Good pick by Brian Gutekunst. This win will give Brian Gutekunst another 2 years as GM. It'll give Matt LaFleur another 2 years as coach, because it'll be a good morale win for a Green Bay team who is probably 13th in the NFC at this point.
It will be a Christmas miracle at Lambeau Field.
After the show, man.
I think I'm
not rooting
for this one.
I'm rooting for Brian Gutekunst not to be our GM.
Same. I'm not sure if that's even in the cards at this point. Week 16, they are on the road in
Hold up.
Carolina.
Janet, did you go?
Did she?
Huh? Yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
she said. Yeah.
I said the
She
Packers
remember
win this one.
I was
It's
shaking
was
my
getting
head to look at
depressed.
Luke. My bad, guys.
She's
she
breaking out
was
of her
getting
depression with
depressed.
the win.
And my family might go to this game too, so I kind of want them to win.
Just move up here at this point. What are you doing?
I know. I know. I have so many hotels booked right now. I'm pretty sure the person that's looking at my stuff is like, just move. Just move.
Week 16, we go down to Carolina, playing the Panthers. Definitely a new look sort of Panthers team, new coaching staff, Bryce Young there. This I am predicting is Jordan Love's first win streak. He wins 2 games in a row. And this, Luke, now we're talking legacy. Now Brian Gutekunst has a win streak under a new quarterback. Now you can write that for the paper. You can write that. All the Packers reporters are saying this is the Jordan Love that we needed to see at the end of this year. Now he has something to build on for next year. That's going to be all this talks on Christmas Eve. So can't wait for that bullshit. Trevor.
Yeah, I have it as a win too. I'm not sold by Carolina. I like Bryce Young. I don't know. I just got a feeling, kind of like I had with Lamar Jackson last year. I don't think he'll be playing this game. I think he'll be hurt before then. Even if he was healthy, the Packers should have the talent to be able to bring this one home for a win.
No, I hard disagree on my end. I think the Panthers have a top 5 defense in the NFL. I think what?
The Panthers have the talent, but Denver doesn't.
Come on, man.
The Panthers are a much better team than Denver. Like, what are we doing here? I mean,
That's not true.
Panthers are going to win their division.
There's like a small smudge. A
I
recent
like Jim
vibe.
Caldwell. He does not coach defense though either.
The Panthers will win this game. Bryce Young is a good quarterback. I mean, he's a playmaker. There's a reason he was drafted number 1 overall. The Packers offense, like I said, I mean, Panthers have a great defense. The Packers offense cannot keep up with this defense. It's going to be a stupid ass, 13-3 game where you can be frustrated that there are so many winnable points in this game, but they just didn't take them.
That's fair.
So it's another one where it's a rookie quarterback. I understand there's going to be film on him, but I don't necessarily know that the Packers watch film when they prepare for teams.
Bingo.
So yeah, this screams Carolina win to me. And then I think the tides kind of start turning back on people starting to hate Brian Gutekunst again, even though he already had those 2 years
after the legacy game.
After he already has 2 years locked up. This is really
3 wins going into week 15. I think people turned on Gute a long time ago.
No, God, no, people are not going to turn on Brian Gutekunst. Are you kidding me?
I don't know about that.
You know how stupid Packer fans are?
Yep.
Yes.
There's one right here.
Top 5 defense.
Carolina is going to win this game. The Packers are not good enough in this game. And that goes back to your point, Zach. Like, this is a long time since the bye. You have to imagine tons of injuries are going to be around. Like, Carolina's young and ready and healthy. I think Carolina wins a dog shit game, 13-3.
That's fair.
I think we win this one. And for the sole purpose that there are going to be a lot of injuries, and Bryce Young is really small, and he's going to get the bejesus beat out of him by the time he gets to week 16. So I think we're going to.
Rashawn Gary's going to pressure the hell out of him. He's going to hurry him so much.
He'd probably be too busy watching people on Twitter instead.
Probably. Fuck you, Rashawn Gary. Week 17, final road game of the season, New Year's Eve, Sunday Night Football. Currently, could be flexed out. Packers play the Vikings. I have a feeling the Vikings are going to be like in that mix to make the playoffs. So I think they have something to play for. Packers have something to build upon. Like I said last time, it'll be that coach cliche, and they can play spoiler. However, I do think the Vikings win this game. Probably an ugly one again, but yeah, I think they win it.
Yeah, I think the Vikings win it. I think they take the sweep. I mean, we talked about it last year. Even when the Packers beat the crap out of the Vikings week 17, that would have been. That should have been a very close game. The Vikings just didn't make the plays, and the Packers just made every play. It's not going to happen. That shouldn't have even happened last year. It's definitely not going to happen with Love. I got a loss too.
To add on to that, Trevor, that's how the kind of the last, I don't know, like feels like the last 5 years of Packers Vikings games have gone. Where the Packers have just made in the wins, the Packers have just made the plays, and usually it's Aaron Rodgers who made the plays against the Vikings. Everyone knows, but Aaron Rodgers is no longer a Green Bay Packer. Can Jordan Love do that? I certainly hope so. But I mean, I'm with you guys. I have a loss here as well.
And I have a loss as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
No, go ahead.
I have a loss as well. I think the Vikings are picking up speed just to let their fans down in the playoffs. So
they're good at that. Final game of the year, home game. We don't know when it's going to be yet. Packers play the Bears. And I have a feeling it's one of those games where maybe the Bears come in with one fewer win than the Packers or the same record. And the Bears know how to tank. The Packers do not. So I think the Bears win this game. I think the Packers win this game. Sorry. And then, draft pick goes the other way for both teams. Trevor?
Yeah, absolutely. I got the Packers winning this home game. I think they can muster up something, even though they're gassed. You got to beat the Bears. I think this is going to be a very low point for both franchises, and the Packers know how badly they need to split, because if they do lose 2 to the Bears with this record, I think it's very possible Gook gets fired right after that. So I think they need to win, and they'll get the win.
Is it strange that we played the Bears of week 1 and the last week of the season?
It is weird. It's weird that they go. The whole schedule's weird because it's kind of built optimistically for the Packers with the primetime games later in the year, with back-to-back divisional games. Like, it feels like they're building towards like a really hot stretch down the year to make the playoffs or give them a chance to make the playoffs. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I agree. I said my piece on the Bears, like, just a dog shit team. The Packers don't lose to the Bears. I don't think it matters who's at quarterback. I mean, Bears are just dog shit. Their fans are dog shit. The media around them is just all dog shit. The Bears should just change the name to the Chicago dog shit. I'm taking the Packers here. And this is kind of like we have something now for the future. Exactly. This feels like a 35-14 game. Packers win, and everyone's all excited for next year. And we're having these same conversations next year when the schedule comes out, of everyone being cautiously optimistic still about Jordan Love.
You're discounting the Bears swagger, though. That's all I got to say.
What? The dog shit swagger?
Don't do that.
Okay, guys, drink in this episode every time that you hear Luke say dog shit.
I mean, I don't think I'm too off base with saying Chicago's dog shit.
Oh no, you're correct.
Okay.
And by the way, if the Packers split with the Bears, if they lose week 1 and win week 18, Packers Twitter is going to do so many. We still own Chicago. It's going to be with our fucking 6-11 record, which is what I'm predicting. But it's going to be embarrassing.
I see what you did there.
Did not mean it. I take it back.
I think the Packers win this one because I'm going to quote Luke. They are dog shit.
It's true.
Very true. So again, let's just go around if you have your record predictions there. I have 6-11. Again, Packers projected win total at most sports books is 7.5. So if you want to use our analysis, our predictions to either make or lose money for yourself, feel free. I have 6-11.
6-11.
I also have 6-11, and I think I said that Thanksgiving game against the Lions was a loss. I want to change that to a win because I refuse to see the Packers lose the Lions 4 times in a row.
I'm going to make this clear. Trevor and Luke both changed their picks. I'm tweeting out their picks pre-show. I'm not doing more fucking work.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
And I'm the delusional Packer fan that has us at 10-7.
Jesus Christ.
So, we gotta have people on both sides.
If it's 10-7, we will eat bubblegum ice cream for an entire episode.
I will gladly do that.
Not you have to eat like pickle ice cream.
You act like that's a bad thing.
I'd rather have that than bubble.
No, that ranch one, that ranch ice cream. Have you seen it?
I saw pictures. I haven't had it.
How are some of them redeemable?
I was gonna say this earlier. I went by Dairy Queen today, Luke, and I was gonna get the cotton candy blizzard like you were talking about because you said not to talk to you until I had tried it.
Mm-hmm.
And like I got in the drive-through, and then I got out of the drive-through. I just drove away. I couldn't.
You got to
I couldn't
commit.
I couldn't like say it to the fucking person. They seemed so nice. I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not. I can't.
Okay, next
have a
time,
bad decision.
if that's your
Yeah.
problem, next time just order on the app and go and pick it up.
But then they get to see his face.
DoorDash.
They do not DoorDash where I live. I would be very surprised.
Go stay in a hotel in La Crosse and have a DoorDash. There you go.
That seems like a good idea. Is that tax deductible? I think we could
Sure is.
make it work.
If we can make
I'd make a
content
video
out of
about it. Yeah. How
good.
is it good?
I mean, do you guys like just not like cotton candy or anything that's good?
I like maybe like 3 bites of cotton candy,
And get a mini.
Yeah.
but not like I don't want it in ice cream.
No,
I'm starting to think that you guys just don't even like ice cream.
That would
I
hurt
love
my
ice
teeth,
cream.
though.
that's not true.
I
Tell me
love
what's
ice
not-
cream.
Cotton candy's texture sucks. It doesn't get
Yes.
enough hate for it. It's the worst.
The ice cream isn't the same texture, Trevor.
I don't care. I'm just saying cotton candy
That's
overall texture.
We're not
garbage.
eating fluff ice cream. I do agree.
No,
with
but-
you.
What?
I do agree with you that cotton candy's texture sucks. The candy part. But the flavor is incredible.
It's just sugar.
Yeah.
So is this just like a grainy ice cream?
No,
Just
it's ice
like-
cream.
Ew.
Just put Q-tips in a vat of sugar, dye it pink, and that's cotton candy.
It
No.
hurts my teeth. It doesn't get stuck to your teeth. It
No.
hurts.
It does for me.
No.
You need stronger teeth.
You
Maybe
guys just don't know how to
brush them
eat
more.
food.
Oh, I got my teeth
Do I
back.
look like I don't know how to eat food, Luke? I figured that out.
I will say, and actually, no, I'm not going to say it. I want you to try the cotton candy blizzard.
I'll try it. I will try it. I'll work up the courage.
I know
Maybe
that.
I'll-
I know that there's something you're not going to like about it, but I don't want to say it.
The flavor?
No, not the flavor.
The
I
price.
feel like
No, well, I don't know what the price.
isn't it like sugar flavored ice cream with like chunks of like hard cotton candy in it, which makes no fucking sense.
There's candy in it.
Why?
Eh.
It adds to it. It's good.
Does it?
That's
What
what.
do you-
You guys talk a lot for someone who's never had a cotton candy blizzard before.
I haven't had
It
a
sounds
bubblegum ice cream
terrible, that's
blizzard, but I know
why.
it would suck ass.
Absolutely not.
It just doesn't.
I
make
got my
sense,
teeth
man.
fact, and it just popped in my head. Yellow teeth are actually stronger than whiter teeth. Whiter teeth are more prone to breaking.
I've heard that too. I think that's
Really?
Yeah.
legitimate.
So my teeth are probably not safe with cotton candy blizzards.
That's why your teeth hurt all the damn time.
They do. They really do. I can't
it
drink cold
because-
water.
They assume people use like whitener or something, and it makes them weaker.
The whitener
Maybe
does.
it could be the whitener. I know it
does.
did. Yeah, my teeth feel sensitive whenever I get them whitened.
What's speaking, Janet, you said you can't drink cold water. What's better, lukewarm water or cold water?
Cold.
Room temperature.
Yeah, room temperature, 100%.
No.
That's
What?
so weird.
You are like over 10 today.
It's so much easier to drink.
Janet comes
It
back and
is.
your mind goes down the drain. Come on, man.
It's so much easier to drink.
It really
Ow.
is.
It, just
It doesn't
water.
hurt your
Just
teeth.
swallow it.
Right,
You
Janet's right.
on it?
But
It
it's more
hurts your
refreshing
teeth.
if it's cold. Like it's a better experience. if
How
it's
is
cold.
it easier?
Oh,
to
I got
drink
another
lukewarm?
fact. I
Oh,
got
God.
another fact.
Cold
Room
water
temperature
sucks.
water.
Oh.
No, room temperature water actually helps you lose weight better than cold water.
That makes no sense. I'm not
Yeah, I feel
buying
like that
for
doesn't
a
make any
second.
sense.
That is the
No.
Once you-
I heard that too.
Once you
Janet.
like, once you use more energy to warm up the water.
What do you mean? It's room temperature. How are you gonna
No,
warm
like-
it up?
I know cold water. Wouldn't that be better then? Because you use energy to warm up the water
That's what I would think.
Does the water get warm?
in your body. I would assume.
Let's see.
I mean, I
warm
don't think
water.
it's gonna sit. It's not like I'm guessing it's gonna get about 98.6.
Our
Roughly, give or
facts
take.
have gone so far down the rails.
Yeah. we had a good few weeks there. The
I like
toothpaste one still blows my mind. I still look every time I use toothpaste.
Agreed,
I'm
me
like,
too.
"Huh, don't believe it.
Dang, India Times proved me
Nice
wrong.
source.
It says it doesn't matter.
Why did you fact check me, Janet? You just gotta roll with it.
Look, I'm
Thank you, India
We
Times.
have like the worst quality water in the world. Why are we listening to them about water facts?
Coming from you, Trevor, you drink the Detroit water.
Also a good point.
I did not
That's
drink the
bad.
Detroit
Oh,
water.
that's why, because warm water activates the metabolism. Cold water does not do that. That's
Says
why.
who?
Says your body.
What's
The India Times.
Yeah, I'm not buying
Wait.
that at all.
India TV News?
Yeah,
Oh.
because it has a ton of bacteria in it that's eating away at your fat.
Also, warm water helps to process your waste better through your body.
Yeah, it goes through your it goes through your body better
moves
than
quicker
cold
through.
water.
It
Yeah,
warms up
it breaks
in your
it down.
body.
That's
It becomes
Warm
the same
water
temperature.
breaks
Zach,
down
I'm with you
body
on
Not
fat
as fast.
molecules.
Cold water, not as
Making
fast.
it-
horrible fact.
It makes it
quote,
easier
unquote.
to digest warm water versus cold water.
The
Correct.
amount of copium on the right side of the screen is insane. It's wild.
Yeah, you guys have made me side with Trevor on food facts the
amount of
entire show. I don't
Zach,
get it.
right there, that should tell you that you're wrong.
I don't think I am though.
We're
This
not
is-
wrong.
And the Broncos are good.
They're
We
not.
need to-
Yes,
They're
they
not.
are.
Absolutely not.
Stop it.
He's gonna
Ju-
punch you
so-
through the
Let's
screen.
just take a step back. The India
feel like you're
Times,
gaslighting me.
man. The India Times. Are we serious here right now?
India TV Times or something.
Yeah.
No, the first one was India Times. The second one was India TV News.
What did you search to get the India TV news?
I just put cold water versus warm water.
The fact
they're
that
the
he is the
go-to
only one
source.
reporting on it tells you it's a bullshit argument.
Or that he's breaking through on it, and the rest of the players are going to start coming
When
soon.
was that article posted?
Doesn't India have like the smartest people on earth?
They
I
don't have
doubt-
drinkable
doubtful.
water though. So
Yeah, the rivers
When-
are red. So
when
I
were
don't
those
think so.
posted? Like
It's
2014.
got to be like 2014. Yeah, for sure.
2022.
2020.
Okay, so
Yeah.
they had nothing to write about. It's like high point of the pandemic. They're like, we need to get our people to drink fucking water.
With the pandemic going on, you know how much time they had to research and do all of it. That's all that
Yeah.
person did.
And so you're telling me they posted this 3 years ago and nobody's supported them? Bullshit. Somebody would have definitely supported them by now.
Yeah,
if it was real.
Because they got
We're
their back.
doing it right now, Trevor. We're supporting them right now.
Yeah, a guy named PBP who likes cotton candy, and Janet who has white teeth that don't let her drink cold water.
Probably because they got their lives back once the pandemic was over.
Right.
Nobody wanted to do tests on water anymore. They
There
were
was
done.
bigger things to
The
do.
pandemic took a year. They had plenty of time.
I think it took a year to research that.
I don't think so. I think
This is so wrong on so many levels.
How did we get here from cotton candy and blizzards?
I don't know, Trevor. You
Oh.
might need to like start a all-time like terrible food takes.
Yeah, you guys will be on it.
Video.
You're a child. You eat bubblegum ice cream.
There's
You
nothing
swallow
wrong
it
with eating bubblegum ice
like
cream.
a child.
I'm sorry I don't want to grow up. Eating adult sucks.
Your
I'm more
taste
mad
buds-
about the water takes. It's bothering me. Like
It's
it all
bad.
becomes the same temperature in your body.
It's bad.
What are we talking about?
That's not my argument. I'm saying that the warmer water flows through you faster.
No, our argument
Yeah.
is it all becomes the same temperature because your
Right.
body is the same temperature, so it doesn't fucking matter
It
what
takes longer
temperature
for
the
cold to
water
warm
is.
up, obviously. Warm water is not going to take as long as cold water.
Yeah.
So bad.
Well,
take.
it's-
I promise you, he doesn't speak for the rest of Let's Go Wisconsin on this take. So look at Pumbaa. Look how disappointed he is in you right now. It's like, what the hell?
he looks like he's smiling.
Yeah, he's got a smile on his face.
Mhm.
He's licking his lips. He's like, that cold water.
He also looks,
Yeah.
he looks baked, too.
Well, this was Lombardi Sweep. Aren't you guys glad that we came back for this episode? If you are still listening somehow, please share the show. Don't send this to your enemy unsolicited. Tell them to listen to this last part at least. Follow us, subscribe if you're listening to us on a podcast network. Rate us 5 stars. Do everything else. And I'm not sure what the next bit of news we will need to come back to cover is, but
let us know what your side is in the water debate in your 5-star review.
Jesus Christ. Let us know if you like lukewarm water or cold water, and then let us know, does it matter?
It certainly does.
Most of all, does that opinion matter? But we're talking May right now, so I assume we will have a show probably beginning of June at some point with some sort of rookie news, maybe. I'm sure the Packers are going to sign a splash free agent other than Simone Biles.
Maybe we'll trade for DeAndre Hopkins.
Maybe. I'm sure the phones are ringing in Green Bay right now. But we'll be back relatively soon. Goodbye.
Bye.